Okay, we need to hear everybody's in here first. Michelle, hello, good evening. I just need to make sure this thing is working. And usually if it's going to give out on spaces, it's within the first 2 minutes. So before we start, Nancy Guthrie, case file, part number 7. I was trying to take a look right before we went in here just to see what I could see. So I saw a few things, but I want to get to people's questions. Nikki, I see you made it in here. All right. So if you need to ask a question, and I'll be saying this all during the podcast, if you need to ask a question, just go ahead and submit a request to speak, and I'll put you on. And once you're done talking, just mute your mic so that it doesn't have feedback for the other people, because apparently we had an issue with that last week or the last podcast. So if you need to ask a question at this point about Nancy Guthrie, as far as I know, it's still quite a mystery to most people that are looking for her. I'm going to look to see in my psychic eye where I'm going to try to get a location this time, or like some sort of details about where she might be, and we'll see what's happening there. And to look at timing to see how long it might be before we discover Nancy in whatever form she is in now. Let me just take a look. And again, I am Psychic Carla Barron. I am known as a psychic profiler, and I sort of built that name over the years. And I work on crime scenes, missing persons, unsolved mysteries, paranormal activity type things, hunting ghosts, seeing ghosts, discovering what needs to be discovered. So that's pretty much what I've done all my life. All right. So let me just take a look just to see. Looks like the podcast is going okay. So I will keep continuing and we'll wait for others to join. All right. So I am going to take a look just to see what Spirit has to say to me right now about Nancy Guthrie. And Nancy, are we anywhere closer to finding you? And if you have anything you need to communicate with me as far as where you might be or any details concerning your whereabouts or the perpetrators involved in your abduction and why this happened, feel free to connect with me. All right, so just relax and breathe, everybody. Let me see what I can see. This is part 7 of my series on Nancy Guthrie. I have my regular playing cards in my hand. Actually, it's my white ghost deck, which sort of fits me, white ghost. All right, so let me take a look. Nancy. Okay, again, I'm getting 2 gentlemen are involved in this. One is definitely coming up around the T name, okay? And this is something I thought before. The other one looks like, and here is the woman with darker hair. So that may be Annie. But it's almost like she was brought in after. It was almost like she Okay, this is disturbing. If this is indeed Annie, and again, I'm looking at coloring, I'm looking at their relationship here. She is definitely connected by love to this man. So I'm assuming it's her husband. And it looks like it was almost like she was in awe of what he was doing on her behalf. That's what I keep hearing, on her behalf, like defending her position, defending her honor was almost the way that it was portrayed. Defending her honor, defending her place, defending her spirit, defending her right to be heard, her right to be rewarded, her her rightful place within the family to not only gain you know the admiration of those around her, but to not be discarded as somebody that was always on the outside looking in. That's kind of what I'm getting with this. So what's weird is that I think she came in afterwards and he explained it like, look, I'm doing this all for you. And then all of a sudden the tone changed. It wasn't shock anymore. It was almost like she said, nobody's ever done anything like that for me before. So that's weird. So I don't think she was in on it from the beginning. I think she was brought in afterwards. I think she came upon something, some sort of evidence or some sort of scenario, some sort of conversation she walked into. And he said, look, I'm doing this all for you. I have been since the first moment. And this needs to happen for you because I'm tired of seeing you pushed to the side. So that's kind of the tone of what I'm picking up around this. You guys can pipe in and tell me if that's something that rings true to you, but that's what I'm seeing. And again, it's the T name. Oh, who am I kidding? Let me just say the name, Tommaso. If they want to come get me, fine. It's a psychic reading. It's what I'm seeing. And Annie. And then I see a third man. Now I'm getting some coloring on this man. He looks like he's shorter than Tommaso. So can somebody tell me how tall Tommaso is? I need his height because this other man looks like he's shorter in stature than Tommaso. Shorter. Also darker coloring, like swarthy looking skin. He's not very pale. He's got a tan, but it's like a darker tone, like olive skin. Okay, so let me see. So 5'9", Nikki is saying. Okay, so yeah, I think this other guy is more like, I would put him maybe at 5'7", something like that. He almost looks if it, Hispanic, Latin, maybe. He could be losing his hair up on top, but you can still see that he has darker tone to his skin. I am being told now that Nancy is definitely no longer with us. I mean, if there was any question before, there is not now. How do we post question? Okay, so hold on. I'm seeing what else they're saying. Dominic Evans, Tommy's bandmate. Do you want to get on here and speak, Nikki? Just send me a request to speak. You can do that inside the podcast here. Just, or I can add you. Hold on. Let me just add you. You're up there, so I'm just going to add you. Invite to speak. Okay, I just invited you to speak. And if I'm going to invite all three of you to speak, and if you're brought on, put your microphone on, and the other ones just keep your microphone on silent until we bring you in, so we don't have like this convergence. All right, so Nikki, I put you on here, so if you want to speak and ask the question. Dominic Evans. What color hair does Dominic have? All right, so Nikki, are you on? I just invited you to speak. Do you see the invite there? Okay, hold on. Let me see who this is. Okay, I just approved you. All right. Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, great.
Hi.
All right, so Dominic Evans, who is this person? And
he does. He's a bandmate of Tommaso's, another teacher.
okay,
His name's been thrown out quite a few times.
okay.
And just with like the porch guy and all of that, like it looked like he had kind of, nice manicured eyebrows, a bit of a goatee or something. And I've always in the back of my head thinking, wonder if it's him.
Well,
Um,
how tall is his stature
he's
next to?
shorter than Tommaso, definitely
Really
shorter.
interesting,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I don't know this person in this scenario. Also, I don't have tons of time. Like, I have been so like racing against the clock trying to get my own personal stuff done at the same time doing reads, and just trying to get my life in order here because a bunch of stuff is happening right now. But Dominic Evans, let me just take a look. So ask the question, is Dominic Evans the other man assisting Tommaso in this scenario of this abduction of Nancy Guthrie? Okay, just relax. Let me see what I see. Well, wow. Wow.
Oh boy.
Okay. I'm getting a positive answer to that. I'm also getting that somebody involved in the investigation. It's somebody that's actually conducting the investigation. Has
Nanos.
it could be, but it looks like it's somebody younger than him, actually. Maybe, somebody that's not quite higher up in the ranks yet. So it looks like he's having, and he looks like he's white American. I'd have to put him at like light brown hair. Taller, thinner guy. He looks like he's he's pissed off at this whole thing. Like, he's pissed off at the way that this investigation is being conducted, at how the ball has been dropped so many times, and he's ready to blow the whistle on everybody. I mean, I see him. He's almost like a Paul Revere type, like he just wants to go screaming through the streets that this entire administration is just outside of bounds here, that they need to go down, that this whole thing needs to be scrapped, and they need to start fresh. And
Wow.
he is ready to testify in front of a grand jury type of thing.
Hmm.
So I guess he's been witnessing some uh, people looking the other way on other investigations. Like, it just looks, it's not only politically driven. What I'm getting is there's a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of activity. That's kind of what I'm picking up. Like like they just all decided as a group that okay, they're not going to pay us, so we're going to take what we're worth. And they are absconding valuables and taking them from, uh, evidence lockers and just basically pilfering things from homes.
Hmm.
Stuff goes missing. Oh, we'll look into it. you know,
Wow.
and
So it goes deeper.
I am seeing such it's just not only is it grand larceny, but it's just it's
Conspiracy.
like they're on a treasure hunt every time they go out and they're investigating something. Like, oh, that looks good. Let's take that. And I get that they feel so uh, disgruntled at the department for not recognizing their worth, and they're getting paid pennies is what I'm hearing. Paid pennies. Why are we doing this? Well, we're just going to take what we're worth now. So
Hmm.
that part
Interesting.
is definitely about the money. Now, let me tie that in with this whole thing. But Dominic Evans is coming up a positive.
That's really interesting.
Well, especially because I don't know who Dominic Evans is, and the fact that I said before you even got on here that the person is shorter and he has darker hair.
Yeah, as soon as you said that was my first. I
Wow,
wonder.
wow. And I get that Annie was brought in afterwards, that she was brought in after she interrupted a conversation and she sort of, she discovered. I'm not gonna say she was in shock because she wasn't. It was more like she couldn't believe what she was hearing, but it's like coming upon an accident in the middle of the highway and you just can't stop looking at it, you know? And that's kind of what happened. Like she walked into the conversation and she just stood there because she couldn't believe what was being discussed. And she just stood there, and I don't even think she said anything. And that's when Tommaso spoke up and said, "Look, babe, this is the first time that I've done anything like this in my life, but I'm doing it for you, and I just can't stand by while they trash you one more day, and everybody else gets something, and you're discarded like you're nothing." Because you're everything to me. And I just hear him going, he's really spinning the story, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know. How does that sound to you? Because that's kind of what I'm picking up around that. Like she walked into it.
Yeah, like from the beginning, I have not gotten off of Tommaso being involved. Annie, I've been a little up and down on, but the last while, like I don't know. I feel like e- when I really felt like she knows a little too much was when her Savannah and Tommy came down the driveway, and
Oh,
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
it was over dramatic, like how she was acting. And it was like a play for the cameras kind of thing. I'm like,
Well, and again, I see her entering the scene
now was
and
this the next
and
morning?
well, I see her entering the scene, meaning entering the conversation. No, this is before the
Okay.
event. This is before the crime even occurred.
Oh,
She walked into like some room. It almost looks like a garage though, the way that it's not really um looks like a garage, or, like a garage that's turned into a recreation space.
Mhm.
It's kind of like that, where there's furniture in there instead of a car, but um, it's just like cinder blocks or something. So wherever this is, that's what it looks like. And it looks like she walked in, she was looking for him, and she stumbled upon this conversation that they were having. And then it's all out there. There's nothing he can do. He has to loop her in now. He has to read her in, you know. And she surprisingly didn't freak out, and she didn't
That's
judge.
wild.
She was just so she couldn't believe that somebody would do that for her, that they would go to those lengths to protect her, those lengths to make sure she had a voice, those lengths to make sure she was rewarded, that she wasn't pushed to the side or made to stand in the corner, that she was important in the whole thing. So it was more like her sense of self was so denigrated over the years that this was the first time she felt like anybody ever did anything for her, you know. So it was almost a like the disbelief of it all, but also she couldn't believe that somebody was being that nice to her, so it had to
Wow.
do with how she felt about herself, her own self-esteem, that kind of thing. So when he read her in, he could tell that she wouldn't be a problem, like she would just be quiet, and she had tears in her eyes, like, I can't believe you did this for me, and you're going to do this for me. But I don't think it was discussed with her. Now, I want to make that caveat statement here. I don't think it was discussed with her, doing away with Nancy. This was only about the abduction, only about the money, about, some sort of resolution there, retrieval of funds, something. And
And something went wrong.
yeah, something went way wrong. But I think they were prepared for it. You know what? I need to look at that again. Let me look. Was this an accident? Nancy Guthrie, was this an accident? What happened to you? No, no.
Mm.
He read her in. He just left out the part that there was no way that she was going to make it out of this thing alive. Because there
That's
was no
awful.
way. I mean, it's not like she was going to keep quiet at that point. You know, once she
Mhm.
saw who took her. I think he knew once they started down that road that was it.
Mm.
And here we are. So he did not tell Annie any of this, and then after the fact, after she was taken, um, I don't think they told her the truth then either. I think they just said, hey, she struggled and hit her head or something. I don't think she knew mm-mm, that this was their intent all along. This was, uh, intent with malice, towards Nancy, and I think that she was targeted in a way that this was not only by design, but by uh, deliberate intent to harm her. Like she was going to pay.
Mm.
They had just had it with her commentary over the years, or he did, Tommaso. The other guy, was just along to help his friend, pretty much. Now, let me look at the investigator because I did see this one guy that was sort of a retired investigator or something, and I almost get like that's the person that I see that's angry now. Like he's angry, and almost going to turn state's evidence on them because he's that angry. I think the deal got switched.
Hmm.
I think he trusted his friend and he didn't trust this other guy so much. And I think that was a bad move because that's where he started losing control of the situation and the narrative. Um, let me look at this guy though. I don't want to make this up. So let me look at the investigator that I'm seeing that's either retired or he works primarily privately by himself. Let me just see what his story is. Okay, let's look at this investigator. Because I almost put the investigator as having lighter hair, aging, um, like his hair is thinning, but it looks like it's almost falling out too, like it's thinning a lot. Um, and he wears hats all the time to cover it. Um, let me see why he's angry. Why is he angry? Why is this guy angry? Yeah, they changed the deal on him midstream.
Hmm.
They decided they couldn't trust him. And, I think he was aware of the plan, but then they said, "Oh, well, we decided not to do it," or something, or "We decided to go another way," or something like that. So they either changed the deal with the amount that they were paying him, and he said, "Oh, I've got my friend helping with this part, so we couldn't come up with all the money for you. So we're going to pay you less now." Like, is that okay? It was something where the deal got changed midstream. That's what I'm seeing with this. Let me see. Is that correct? Is that correct? Because once he brought his friend in, then I see that the role of this former investigator, maybe private detective, or somebody that works off the books, that's more accurate. Somebody that works off the books. He came into the situation thinking, okay, there's a certain deal on the table. I'm being paid this much, my regular fee. And I'm getting that that's his regular fee. And they changed the regular fee saying, oh, well, we didn't need you for all of it. We only needed you for part of it. Maybe it was the disposal or something. That sounds harsh, but that's kind of what I'm hearing. And yeah, they changed the deal on him. So, wow. Okay, so
Crazy.
he's angry. They pissed off the wrong guy though, because this guy can destroy them.
Yikes.
Can destroy them. Like like that was not very smart of Tommaso to change the deal midstream like that.
Now, do you feel like the FBI is kind of on to any of this?
Well, let me look. Let me see if they actually know anything. Let's look at the FBI. Are they aware? Okay. I know something. And it looks like it's coming from oh, okay, okay. Um, well, this is new. It looks like it may be coming from Savannah.
I thought that. That was going to
Wow.
be my other question to you is do you feel that Savannah is suspicious of them yet?
Savannah knows something. She has intel, and she finally decided that her love for her mother was greater than any career move or anything else that she could do, and she just felt like this was the right thing to do. So I think she's coming forward
Because
with what she knows. But before, she kept very quiet. I see that she was very quiet. Everything was under wraps. She acted like she didn't know anything. But she is now testifying, or actually, uh, she's being deposed. And she is saying everything that she knows about all the dynamics of every family member and what's going on there.
they have come out this week. There's been a lot of like online kind of stuff. I don't think it's been proven
Yeah.
that Savannah has dumped a pile of money into like an elite kind of investigators, like private investigators to
Well, let
search
me
for
look at
her.
that. Let me look at that for a second. Did Savannah do this? No. Uh, but I do get that that is happening. I just don't think it was at Savannah's call, you know?
Hmm.
I don't think Savannah did it. I believe that this is part of, well, I think it's part of the FBI investigation, actually. I think they've got their own people, their own covert op going to see what they can find.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
because they have a vested interest in locking this case up and coming to some sort of a conclusion fast. Like
Hmm.
they're being told by state agencies and by national government agencies, hey, wrap this up now. Like we don't have time for this anymore. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
need them on other cases. So I get that Savannah came forward with everything that she knows, when she started being deposed and documenting conversations that she overheard, or things that she knew that were said within the family unit. Like before, she was protecting the family from all of this, but
Hmm.
now she just it's clear to me that she just wants to find her mother. However, that she's made a solemn promise to her mother through prayer, or however she's doing it, that she's going to find her, that she will make it her life's mission to find her. And she doesn't care if she has to give up jobs to do this, or television, or whatever. She doesn't care now.
Wow. So,
So
do you
she's,
feel they'll find Nancy or part of her, or
well,
because that's
let
the
me see
big thing too? Like, how have they not
and
gotten anything? It's unbelievable.
well, let me take a look. And if anybody else needs to ask a question, just go ahead and send me a request. Michelle, I don't even know if you're on here. I invited you on, but I don't know if you got added. Um, let me take a look at timing on this investigation. Okay. Let's look at timing. Let's look at, I know this podcast is on like a 2-second delay, because when I ask a question, it takes a couple seconds before you guys hear it. All right. So if you need to get on here and speak and ask a question, just submit a request and I'll put you on. All right. So what is the timing on discovering Nancy Guthrie's remains, if that is the case, or Nancy Guthrie herself, uh, or coming to a conclusion as far as this crime and solving it? Will this crime be solved this year? Let me start there. Will this abduction, will this abduction be solved this year of Nancy Guthrie? Will this mystery be solved? Who took her? What happened to her? Okay, there she is. Yeah, and again, I'm getting Savannah here, and some of this information is coming from Savannah's husband also, like things that she wasn't aware of before, but now she is. And I guess everybody's coming out and putting their cards on the table, sort of. You know, that's basically what's happening. All right. Will this happen this year? 2026. Will we find out what happened to Nancy Guthrie? Yeah, that chief there, he's going to be gone by then. Yeah, he's gone by then. By the time this thing is solved, he will no longer be part of the department. Okay. Nancy Guthrie. What month will this be solved this year? Again, I'm getting the month of June is going to be very prolific for details coming forward on this case, activity on this case. A flurry of activity and details coming forward. I think it has a lot to do with what I'm saying, that intel that's coming forward from not only Savannah, but Savannah's husband. And they're all just putting cards on the table. Everybody's just, nobody cares about being embarrassed anymore or humiliated or their job or whatever. They just made a concerted a decision, a joint decision to just come forward with everything they know and let the chips fall where they may. And that's kind of where we are with that. But June is coming up as a prolific month for activity for this. I'd have to say it looks like two different parts of June. The beginning of June, like first week, we're going to hear something new, some sort of new, maybe a suspect, something like that. It looks like first part of June, and then the other one is more like the third week in June. Looks like we have the rest of it. Another piece of the puzzle. I do feel that Nancy is no longer with us for sure. Let me take a look at location for Nancy. Nancy, where is your body? Whatever form it's in, we know your spirit is not with the body, but where, show me some detail on where your body was taken. Where is your body? Where are your remains? What's happening there? Show me a location. Show me details around the location. Okay. I just got this weird image. I don't know what this means, but let me just say it. I almost get I saw a cactus for some reason being like it was like a landmark or something, like it told them, you know how people like they go in the woods and they leave breadcrumbs in the woods or like markers on trees so they know their way back. It's almost like this cactus has a mark in it or something, and that keeps them on track when they're going back out there. I just saw, I don't know what the cactus means yet, but it looks like a shorter cactus, not very tall. Um, I would have to say it's like maybe waist high, if that. Um, but it looks like a cactus, and it looks like there's a gash in it, or maybe they cut off one of the cactus leaves or something, so that they knew it was the cactus, or made a mark in it with a knife. And that's one location detail. Let me look at the rest of this. Nancy, show me where you are. Show me where you are. Yeah, she's telling me it was about money. It was about money and respect and feeling loved and feeling included. Okay. And he's coming up again. Tommaso is coming up again. So I can't rule him out, guys. He's coming up pretty prominent here. Let me see if I see other details where she is. All right. So the cactus has some sort of like marking in it, like a knife mark or something. It's There's a mark or a symbol that's on it that tells them that that's the it's like a breadcrumb going to where she is or where she might be buried. Hold on. Let me just see something here, because I just heard the word buried. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. I think the reason the cactus is shorter is because it's a new cactus and they planted it over on top of where they placed her, where they dug a grave. And forgive my delivery, because I don't mean to sound harsh with this or disrespectful in any way. But I almost see like they bought a cactus or something and they planted it on top of the grave and then filled it in with old dirt so that it wouldn't look disturbed. And then it rained a bunch of times, so nobody thought anything. But I also get that there's a mark in it, telling them that that's the one, just in case anything happens. Let me let me check that. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Um, that they actually bought this thing so they could plant it right where her body was, like on top of it, to mark it, like a marker, so that they, number one, could go back and find it. Number two, um, so that it wouldn't be disturbed by animals or dug up or washed away in the rain. That this would secure the land around it and the the cactus itself. Yeah, I know, Nikki. Nikki, get back on here and tell me how weird that is that I just said.
I'm just
But I
ah,
almost saw like they went and they bought a cactus and planted it on top so that it would keep the soil from eroding
ugh.
and so that she would be found.
So that she
Isn't that
that's messed
that's the
up.
weirdest that's the weirdest psychic image I've ever seen on a crime. Well, that's one of them. That's one of the more out there things that I've seen. Um, but it was more so that the animals, like the night animals, wouldn't disturb it or dig it up, and plant it on top of, so that the soil would not erode.
Wow.
in like a tropical rainstorm kind of thing, or like a flash flood of some sort with, massive rainstorm, thunderstorm.
Oh,
All right. How far out is this cactus? Let me, um, not too far off from a road that I'm seeing. I am seeing a paved road, uh, not too far off from this paved road that I'm seeing. So it's not that far off from civilization. It's not like miles in or something.
how far from her house?
Let me look. I almost get like, as you look at her house, it's to the left. It's to the I don't know what direction that is. But it's to the left side of the house as you're facing the house. And it's that direction. Not the right, but the left. So what roads are leading? What paved roads are that direction? What First of all, what direction is that? Um, I mean, it's west as you look at the house, but what direction is the left side of her house as you're facing it? So if you guys can find out for me while I'm on here. Um, but she's no longer where they took her originally, where they hid her for a while. And um, I'm definitely getting better. I'm going to confirm that right now, though. Let me take a look. Let me do the cards. Let's take a look. All right. So, Nancy, did they bury your remains? Place a cactus on top of you? Okay, I just, like you said, chills, and I'm also getting chills right now because, okay, if I were just reading somebody else and I was having a regular reading with somebody else, I'm seeing you have achieved much, you have a gift. I'm so happy you can hear me. Those are the three messages that came through. I just all of a sudden got this image of a cactus, but it wasn't very tall. So it was a baby cactus. It was, a young cactus. And they planted this on top of the grave they dug for not only concealment, but, so that if there was a flash thunderstorm or something, that the soil wouldn't erode and all of a sudden her body would wash up. Let me see if they wrapped it in something. Did they wrap the body in anything, or was she placed in a container of any sort, or a box or something, or is it just wrapped in like a tarp or something? Let me see. Um, no, I don't get any type of formal box or container. She is wrapped in a tarp, a dark, either like a dark plastic or something like that, because I definitely see that wrapped around her. And then they placed it in the ground. Something that would be biodegradable. Um, and the thing is, who I wonder if he knows anything about gardening or about, you know, planting a the thing is that I see that either they looked it up how to, you know, plant a cactus so that it would survive. Um, but I almost get them purchasing one, a new one, a young one, and then planting it there among other, like, there's stones around. I see that there's stones around and other things, so it doesn't look too off from the rest of the landscape there. It looks like it's a natural setting. It doesn't look like something that was manufactured. It does look like they tried to make it look seamless with the rest of the landscape, but it is off a paved highway or a road. The road is paved. I don't know if it's a highway, but I don't see guardrails. Okay, there's no guardrails. Um, left side, Michelle is saying, Michelle, you want to get on here and say this instead of me reading it? I added you. Michelle, are you on? Because I don't want to read everybody's comments. Just get on here and say what you had to say about where it is. Okay, so hold on. Okay. Wait. Okay, there you are. Wait, you were on. Are you on now? Michelle? Oh, there you are again. Okay. It took you a few times. There you are. Okay. I can't. So what's on the left side of her? And is it the left side
Ah,
as you're facing it?
yes, it's characterized by dark, thick brush, uh, and
Interesting.
basically it sounds like the area that you're describing. It's crazy.
How far is the paved road from that area?
That it didn't say. It just said about the dark brush. It's characterized by dark brush, uh, desert type of setting.
Yeah, but why am I seeing a cactus? See, this is the thing. It's like a it's a cactus that has like a characteristic mark in the cactus, or like they put a cut mark in it so that they could identify it. You know, like a characteristic
Like you
mark.
said, they probably just added it to that area and it just blends in.
Let me see if it's right near her house. Let me just look at that. Is it right near her home, the property itself? Is it on her property where she was placed? No, no. Because where I'm getting is like, it's almost like you got to drive a little bit, like maybe 2 miles or something. Not far, 2 miles or so. And that's where I'm seeing um, this area. And it's off, like as you're driving down towards like a main highway. It's not the main highway, but it's a road that leads to a main highway. And I see that this 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 grave with this cactus, like either on top or right next to it, is, and I think it's right on top of it, to tell you the
I
truth.
found something. You're
What?
not going to believe this. It says, yes, the immediate area surrounding Nancy Guthrie's Arizona home in the Catalina foothills is full of native desert vegetation, including various types of cacti. The yard and the roadside easement on the property's edges, including the left side of the house, feature wild desert plants, prickly pears, and tall saguaro cacti. Holy crap. I got chills.
Okay, well, I mean, it's kind of an odd thing for me to see, because if
Oh, wow.
if I see something that's like really weirdly odd like that, it usually plays into the truth about the investigation. So,
Wow.
yeah, that's kind of a
Wow.
weird. It's a weird
My
detail.
goosebumps have goosebumps.
I was so anyway, that's part of what I'm seeing is that as you're driving, it's to the right. It's on the passenger side of the car,
Mhm.
going towards the freeway, like a
That's
main
crazy.
freeway or a main road, highway. Um, I don't see guardrails though. I just see pavement, like paved roads, but not guardrails. So I don't know what that means. Um, but I'm not seeing guardrails. Aren't guardrails just part of like, I don't know, like highways? Is that where they put guardrails? I'm not seeing
Yeah, but not maybe not in the desert area. It's probably just
yeah,
all
I'm not
natural.
I'm not seeing guardrails. I'm just seeing paved road and it's right next to the ground there.
Wow.
It's like it's flush with the ground and that's it. Um like there may be like a little runoff area where if it does rain real fast and it floods like a flash flood, like they might have like a you know like the side of the road dips down a little bit so that the water can collect in there, like
Right,
a
right.
runoff,
Runs off. Hmm.
like a
Yeah.
runoff area.
Hmm.
But other than that, it's not on her property though, not on hers. But if they took, now here's the thing, if they took a cadaver dog around this cactus and on top of that grave, the cadaver dog would hit because I don't get that the body was sealed in anything that would cause them not to be able to smell it or sniff that area. So the decomp would come through. Again, forgive my, you know, my blunt description here. Uh, let me look to see, is what I'm seeing accurate with this cactus? It's like a new baby cactus, like a young cactus. Yeah. And I'm almost getting like, hide it in plain sight kind of thing. But put this cactus on top of it, no one would ever think to go there. Because it's not like ground that's disturbed to the side of the cactus. It's like right on top of it. And then they took the old dirt, the older gravel, and they just put it underneath and made it look flush with the rest of it. They just took the gravel that was there and that's what they placed around it. So it didn't even look like it was disturbed. Wow. Am I insane or what? What am I seeing here? Hmm. Okay. We're just going to, I mean, when you see things like that, I just have to say them, put them out there, and then you guys go on a hunt for me and tell me, come back with information for the next one. But that's what I'm seeing with this, that she has now been buried, but cadaver dogs could pick up the scent. It is not on her property. It is, but it's to the left of her property though. Like that's the direction where you would drive. You face her house and the left side of the house, whatever direction that is. It's Nikki is saying if you're looking at the house and you're saying left side, there is a service road very close. Okay. And is the service road paved? Because I see that the road is paved, but it's open. It's not like concealed by a bunch of brush or anything. It's open. There's hardly anything around this except for like stones and ground and gravel. There's not a lot going on there. And then there's this cactus. Maybe there's some other, like tumbleweeds or something. I don't know. But whatever else is out there, there's very little. It's like a sparse area, is what I'm getting. So maybe anybody that knows about plants and cacti will know that cactus looks way too young to be sitting out there. Something like that. Like somebody who's into botany, somebody will know, and somebody that works with cactus will know that that doesn't belong there. Like it wouldn't naturally just grow there. Something like that. So that's the information I'm getting. I know that's weird, but that's what I'm getting. That they would know this. Looking at that area, they would know that it didn't just sprout up by itself there. That it's odd that it's there instead of somewhere else where it's closer to water or, and it's definitely as you're driving down, if it is a service road or whatever this road is, it's paved. It might have a little bit of a trough area where there's a runoff there on the side of the road. But I can see that there's no guardrail. There's nothing. It's just open space. Open space. And I would have to say this isn't that far from her house, though. Going that direction, if it is that service road that Nikki was talking about here, maybe within 2 miles. If that. 1.5 miles, something like that. Not that far. Not that far at all. You could walk it. And they did all this at nighttime. Because that road is usually deserted, is what I get. That's why I'm saying it's very sparse. Can you see the mountain in the same direction? Let me see. Let me look. I almost get like the mountain is like the direction of the road. Like the road is taking you to the mountain area or something. Not on either side of the road, but it's taking you to the mountain itself or in that direction. Does that make sense? Let me know. And you can come back on here, Nikki, if you need to talk. But I almost get like if you were on that road in front of you, yes. If you're on that road, it would be in front, like it looks like the road is running right into the mountain. That's what it looks like to me.
I'm here. It is because early on, a lot of those YouTubers kept going down in that direction, and it really like a city block or something. It's not far, but it was like I don't know if they called it a service road or a hydro road or something, but there's not much there. I can't remember if it was paved or gravel, but it was a service road. I don't think really anybody lives down that way. And the mountain would be like, because that service road would run like perpendicular to Nancy's house, but it would be, if you were looking at her house, to your left, and then the mountain would be like the road's going right into the mountain kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what it looked
But
like.
you would
It
turn
didn't,
off
it
to go
did,
on the
it,
service road.
right. It didn't look like the mountain was on the left or the right of the road. On the driver's side or the passenger side, it looks like it's right in front of me, like the road would take me right into the mountain.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes,
First
I
of all,
found something on that.
I've never been there, so I have no idea what it looks like. I'm
Carla,
just,
I found something.
what?
It says you're referring to the North Campbell Avenue in Tuscan Catalina foothills. The winding road is a major thoroughfare that connects to the Catalina Highway Scenic Drive, which leads up into the Santa Catalina Mountains toward Mount Lemon. And those roads are paved.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, this is on the road. You're not at the mountain yet. I mean, the mountain looks
No.
like it's fairly far away, but that's why I said it's not more than a mile and a half, 2 miles, maybe
Hmm.
that. It's not even that. Like you could walk there if you could.
Right.
And I get that this is where this cactus is, and the cactus will look out of place to anyone that knows about cacti. It'll look out of
Hmm.
place because of how young it is. It's a young cactus, and nothing else is around it. Like it's the only cactus there.
Wow.
And there's other stuff there, but like it just looks weird because it's like this lone cactus in the middle of nothing. And that's what looks odd to me. Like no one else would think it because, oh, it's desert, it's desert landscaping. But I'm telling you, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like it doesn't belong there because it's too new, too fresh. Like the color of the cactus is too new for having weathered, seasons out there in that heat, you know? It looks too new, like it was indoors for a little bit, or it was covered, or it was in a greenhouse of some sort, or it was in a tree farm or something, like it just doesn't look like it belongs where it is because nothing else is around it that's actually like it. So, okay. And then I'm also picking up the month of June, like something in the first week or so, getting more information is coming forward, but we should see some details coming forward in June. If they took cadaver dogs out there to this cactus area where they place this cactus on top of that grave, I mean, I will freak out if that's what they find. Because I have never in my life, I've worked on murder cases many, many, many times, and I've never seen a cactus be involved in one of them, like ever. And all of a sudden, I saw this new cactus that they bought, and they were planting it on top of it. It's actually ingenious if you think about it, though, because it keeps the ground from eroding around it. It keeps the animals, the wild coyotes and all the other animals from digging it up because the cactus would prevent them from going in there. It's ingenious, actually, that they planted that on top of it, and it provides, a landmark of some sort, where they can find it again. Maybe, just by knowing that information, they use it, like one day when they're being questioned, and that's going to give them immunity one day if they say, okay, go look for the cactus, so many clicks from this area, and then, you know, and
Oh, Carla,
yeah.
since it's been so long since they have any clues to Nancy's whereabouts. Do you think the FBI would suggest using cadaver dogs to comb the area and see if they find her body?
Well, I mean, they're not going to listen to a psychic at this point unless I happen to be requested to be on the thing. So they're not going to get that from me. But
Do you think they would come up with that themselves? That by now she's probably gone, and decide, well, let's start looking for a body.
well,
And
I think they're trying to be careful with public, like
mhm,
just the information that's out there. They don't want to alarm anybody yet, or the family, like, in case they're wrong. They don't want to be bringing cadaver dogs unless there's a reason to,
right,
you know,
wow,
or if somebody says they noticed a smell coming from that area or something.
yeah, right, right.
But I'm telling you what I'm seeing. I don't know what it means. I'm just putting the information out there, and
And I'm writing it down.
yeah, hopefully, this YouTube person going out there with a shovel and trying to dig up all the cacti.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, hopefully that's not happening. But that's kind of what I mean, this is all fresh information, and it was weird, and I knew I was seeing it because it was so strange. I knew I was seeing it. So all I have to say about this is let's just put that in the notes, in the journaling on this on this case. Let's see if anything along those lines comes up. But that's kind of what I'm seeing. And the thing is that I see it being alone by itself. This cactus is by itself, this young cactus, but it has a mark on it, like a knife mark or something, so they can identify it. Or maybe it's a gouge, it was on sale because it had a gouge in it or something. But I see some sort of a knife mark or a cut in the plant itself, and it's in an area off the side of the road. If you're driving down the road, it's the passenger side, and it looks like it's mm, maybe like not too far off the road. I'd say maybe 100 feet, something like that. Um, and no one would ever think to look there. But it's deserted. Like nothing else is there. I don't see any landmarks there. I see nothing. I see just this flat desert, a bunch of gravel, a bunch of stones, and then this lone cactus that's young, that's about waist high and has a cut in it. There's a cut on it, a gouge. So it's either because when they bought it, it was on sale and they were going to discard it and they bought it for like negative dollars, or they put the gouge in it themselves. I don't know how that came to be, but I'm seeing this mark on it because I tend to look for marks like that, like identifying marks on things that stand out to me that are different from what it should be. So that's what it's showing me. And it's also showing me nothing else is around it. Like I see a few other, like brush, like some brush is coming up in that area, but not a lot, like very little. Most of it is just dry, gravelly, hard ground, cracked ground. This sort of a light color, like a light tan, light gray. And that's it. And then this cactus that doesn't really belong there. I don't know what that means, but I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. And I don't expect you all to get shovels and start looking, but that's, I mean, it is part of what I'm seeing. So, So any other questions with this? Because that's what's coming up this week. Any other questions about like any of the players, about Annie, about timing, about any of this?
I do. Again.
Okay.
So the last time I heard you, I think it was the last two shows you did.
Yeah.
You were very fixated on Annie and that she's kind of cracking under the pressure, and sometime in June or July you felt like she was gonna um like spill the beans kind of thing. Do you still feel that? Or is this kind of changed now and it's more on the Savannah side?
Let me look. No, I almost get both of those things can happen in the same universe. You know what I mean? Like, I think Savannah can quietly get deposed and say all those things. And then I feel that Annie can be worked on, like, hey, some new information came to light, and we know this about you. We know this about your husband. We know this about your financial dealings. We know this about something, right? And if you want to make a deal separate from him, because we know we can crack him, we know he will talk, we know he will turn over on you. So if you want to save yourself, you know, and they're pressuring her to, you know, confess something. So let me look. Is Annie going to come forward in any way, shape, or form, whether pressured, not pressured? Let me just look. Is Annie going to come forward? See, I almost get the same idea. Like he was doing it as a gift for me. Like it sounds sick. It's like he was doing it as you know, something for me because he loved me. You know, and it's just it's twisted the way it comes out. You know, and even the investigators are just like, oh my god, that's just wrong. But it's almost like she romanticizes it. You know, like, hey, somebody thought enough of me to do this.
It's nuts.
Let me see if June is still the time frame. Is Annie going to be the key to unlocking this? Yeah, there's that investigator again. The one that they pissed off, the one that they shortchanged with the amount or changed the deal and he walked away. And he said, okay, I'm out because you're not paying my fee. I'm out. But I see that he is angry. Like he wants to just uncover all of it because he's pissed off at them. I still get that his anger is going to fuel a line of questioning or something around that. So I am just wondering if he's just so angry they changed the deal on him that he just wants them gone or something. Like it's almost like they're gloating that they got away with it and he's pissed off about it. But this guy that's either ex law enforcement or private detective or something where he's working under, you know, like, you know, this is what he does in his off time. You know, it's very hush hush, like, you know, people get in contact with him through burner phones or something. Yeah, he seems to be coming up at the center of this thing. So either he sees it as a way to, because he's probably thinking if they take those people in, Tommaso and Annie, if they come in again and they're brought in and they have evidence, that he's thinking that maybe they'll turn on him. Oh, well, we offered him the job. We were going to pay him X amount of dollars. And I think that he wants to get them before they get him. It's just what a web we weave here. But he wants to take them down before.
Well, hopefully June's as exciting as it's going to sound like. Holy.
Well, it
This
looks
is
like
it's crazy.
it looks like it's full of information coming forward. So I mean, I'm getting activity in the first week, like around the 6th, maybe, right around then. And then again towards the 23rd or so. I don't know why those two dates are sticking up, but I would freak out if like that's exactly those dates. The 6th and the 23rd. So I'm just going to say that, put that out there. Any other questions? Anybody else want to ask a question? Send me a request to speak. And if we covered it already, you can still ask it a different way. Just go ahead and submit your request now and I'll put you on. Obviously new information came to light here. It usually does if I'm allowed to just go and see what I can see. So, and I'm not pressured to find anything or see anything. I can just do my work and do the thing I do and see what I see. And then the vision comes. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I don't think, are we done? Last call for questions, guys. And don't say, oh, I thought of one right after. Like, right now is your chance to ask your question. So if you've got a question, please come on and submit a request and tell me your question. And then I'll take a look real quick. Otherwise, save it for the next time. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here. And that was interesting, though, about the landmarks and the fact that I saw what I saw and it seemed to match what was on the map and what you guys know about the area. So that was interesting. Yeah, the cactus. The cactus, that's something very new that just came up. You guys will fill me in next time, please, because I don't usually watch this, and then I'll have this up on all the platforms, including YouTube, within the hour. And just you can post your comments here on Twitter or on YouTube underneath that particular podcast. But thanks you guys for coming on. So Nikki is saying if you were on that road, what are you saying, Nikki? Nikki, you were saying if you were on that road, what?
Oh, did I type that?
Oh no, that was the last one. Then it says, "Thank you for staying with this case. You're awesome." Well, you're
Yeah.
awesome too. Thank you so much.
I think it was just if you were on that, like if you were leaving, say, Nance, like if you were standing in front of Nancy's house on your left and you continued down that road on the like your left, you'd be looking right at that mountain. And then I think on the right is where you would turn to that service road. I think it was just like, is the mountain in front of you or that kind of thing.
Yeah, and the thing is that turning right, there's the service road. Interesting, because maybe the cactus is right off that road, is what I'm saying.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I
But thank
mean,
you for staying with this. I think it's just
of course,
absolute
absolutely.
horrible case, and there has to
Well,
be a
I mean, I'm
conclusion. It's just messed
invested
up.
now. I started with it. Now I'm invested. Same way I was invested with Brian Koberger when that whole situation unraveled, and the Idaho 4. So, and I'm still going to do a podcast on that if we have anything new coming up on that. So keep me informed, guys, because lots of times I don't have time to go watch the news or see any developments. So, all right. So we'll do another episode of this series with Nancy Guthrie should things start manifesting, but keep an eye out and let me know. Okay. And eventually I'll get over to YouTube and start doing them over there. But right now, until I'm either, if I'm going to move, then I'll do it after I move. I don't know yet because right now I've got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. So like I have to just do what's easier right now and not confuse myself even more. So let me just do this at my own pace, but I will get over there and I will start doing, even if it's just where you see my hands, like a lot of psychics, you can see them shuffling the cards and like doing the thing. I might do that. I might take my cards and you can see regular playing cards. You won't know what I'm pulling though, because you're probably used to seeing tarot cards being pulled, and I'm just pulling regular playing cards at random. You're going to have no idea what's happening there, but at least it's something for you to look at. So I might do that. I'll start with that. And eventually I might even start putting on makeup and doing it on camera. But right now, let's do baby steps. Okay. And I will talk to you guys next time. But thank you for showing up with your questions, because I need that to happen for me to keep propelling forward with the narrative, with that story, with those visions. I need that to sort of activate me. So thank you so much. And I'll have these up within the hour, like I said. But thanks for joining me tonight. And until next time. And I wish you guys
Good night, Carla.
good night.
Good night, Nikki.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.